Again.
Okay, we are now live, and we're here to discuss The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 8, mid-season finale, how it's gotta be. And do we just want to start with the ending?
Sure.
May as well, right? Get it out of the way and express our anger.
Yeah.
ANC Walking Dead site posted that tweet like 4 to 5 minutes before it actually aired.
Wait, what?
That was like pretty petty.
What tweet?
What did they?
Yeah, they aired it like around 10:24 or 10:20 p.m. of Carl's getting bitten.
Wait, what was the tweet? I'm confused.
They tweeted a picture around 10:24 p.m. of Carl getting bitten. 4 to 5 minutes before we actually saw it. They tweeted that.
Well, that seems dumb.
Why?
All of it seems dumb at this point.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really petty of them to do. It would have been a little bit better if they like air it like the next day or a couple hours later. But
it just seems like a waste. Like, if they, I don't know why they would do that since they were trying to hype up like this big twist at the end.
It says it was posted at 10:26, and that's probably when it happened. Because the episode ended at 10:28.
What I'm only saying is that it would have been so much better if they had waited maybe during Talking Dead to air it. It just seems very poor taste.
Yeah, I don't know why they were so quick to do it, but I don't think they were trying to spoil it. They just are not bright.
I heard they did the same thing for Beth. They aired it on
Twitter
like an hour.
They posted it on Facebook.
They're just riddled with so much drama right now. I mean, it turns out they told the family one thing and they did another. It's like all the truth is coming out, which makes me wonder exactly what they told Steven prior to his death. Like,
yeah.
I feel like Steven probably.
Sorry, what did you say?
I was going to say, I feel like Steven probably had a good idea it was coming, like, well before it actually happened, because it happened in the comics. And then they did all that fake stuff with him. So I think he probably knew or had an idea. But it feels like with Chandler, like, it just came completely out of the blue. And story-wise, it came completely out of the blue. And it happened for a dumbass reason. Like, his getting bitten was like season 2 stuff. Like, people doing dumb stuff and getting bit.
Right.
I mean, technically, he was doing something kind of stupid.
Wait, what was that, sir?
Fine. But he was acting like season 4 Carl when he was out there running around with Sadiq. And he knew better. Not just trying, but I don't understand how it's going to propel the story.
It's not. It's going to kill the show.
Right.
And it was already not doing so hot.
Right.
Well, maybe that's the point, because Chandler said this is one of the last few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to kill the show.
I'm not sure.
Well, I was kind of hoping that. No, I'm sorry, Vicky. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I know that he said that. I'm wondering if he realized maybe he shouldn't have said that.
Well, probably not, but that's what he said.
It's a roundabout way of getting back at them, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe he did know, and he's just, they did him wrong, so I couldn't completely understand why he would. But I'm actually glad. I was glad to hear that, because otherwise this makes no sense. I mean, it doesn't really make sense still, but knowing that maybe we're heading toward the end, I can see them wanting a shocking moment, I guess. I don't know. This doesn't make sense.
It should have been Daryl, though.
I'm just trying to figure out how they did what they did.
Right.
Yeah,
Always and forever.
Sorry, go ahead, Emmy.
I know you guys are just gonna go like right on and on and on about Daryl being at fault, and it took me a couple days to really sit down and figure out exactly whose fault it is. And my money is on Eugene. Like if he had never mentioned Washington, if he had never lied from the get-go, I mean, they could have made some kind of living in Georgia.
Where would they be? Eating at terminal? Okay.
Wait, why is it come back to
on that one?
Well, I just had to think about it. I mean, like, no one knows specifically why he picked Washington as the place for the answer, a place for a cure. I mean, you can pretty much pick any state. No, Richonne wanted to go to Washington. She figured, there was a reason why Eugene said Washington. But I'm talking about Eugene in the whole. I'm finding other faults. I'm finding faults.
The show made it clear that it was Eugene's fault.
Find the what ifs. The what ifs and whose fault is it? Like, I mean, the prison wouldn't have
I'm gonna stop you there. I don't think it's Eugene's fault for them going to Washington. I think that was a group thing. But the show explicitly said that it was Eugene's fault that the saviors were able to escape. But I still find it like they went out of their way to have Daryl do something stupid, do something that went against the plan. He shouldn't have done it. And then we see the effects of his stupid ass decision, and yet the show is still going out of its way to say it's not your fault. Like they had Rosita say, "Don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong."
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Say, I didn't do it. It's not my fault. And it's just like, if you're gonna have Daryl do something dumb, like make him pay for it. Like make him have consequences. The consequences of it instead of excusing him for everything.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I wanted to like slap Rosita for that, because no, it was totally his fault for jumping the gun. Like, yes, Eugene made like the device to lead the walkers away, but it prompted them into further action. Like, it antagonized the situation totally, and it did exactly what Rick said. It killed a bunch of workers who are now gonna, mobilize with the saviors even more. So.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're afraid to just let Daryl be wrong. Like, you put him in that position, and then you take it away. Like, that's not interesting. You could have had an interesting story if people were actually mad at Daryl for ruining something. But no, instead, you want to put it on Eugene. And it's like, we don't care about Eugene. Just not care.
It's all on the writing. It's all on the writing. It's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're making...
You guys said it before that Daryl was getting all Carl's shine, so maybe that's why they got rid of Carl formerly.
Well, then they should have made Daryl honestly.
Look, they should have made Daryl what?
A teenager, because a grown man shouldn't be acting like a child.
Right. Agreed.
We all know he's a little slow, so.
Well, I honestly don't know how long I can do this. I think I really hit my breaking point. Like, this show really broke me. And I mean, like, it really pissed me off that when I'm talking to people about the TV show, I mean, you're expected to feel something for a show. That's what shows does to you. I mean, you can move along and carry on with your business, but when it gets to a point where they just start talking to you and telling you that it's just a TV show, it's like you just want to take their head and bash it in the wall. Like, motherfucker, I know it's a goddamn TV show, okay? But he's kind of disregarding my feelings here, and I don't like it when people disregard my feelings. So I wasn't kidding when I said that I am like mentally like broken over this freaking show and these characters. Like, I still have my crying moments when I think about Glenn, and here I am doing it again for Carl, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I really can't.
Honestly, I've felt that way since probably the end of season 5. Like, even with all of the good Richonne stuff that we've had since then, like, everything about the Jesse story just pissed me off so much that I haven't felt the same about the show since. And yeah, and so everything that's happened since then with Glenn's death last year and now Carl, like, I'm pretty much over the show. Like, I'm only watching it to talk about it with you guys.
Right. Say something that is a positive to this.
Tell us what.
Lord. Okay, I mean, you're not gonna like it, but I'm just saying it's a positive that it is that the way that they killed him, he will have at least the end of this season for some more scenes, and it's not so abrupt like Glenn and Abraham.
What happened?
You know,
I mean, I will say,
everybody will get a chance to say goodbye to him, and that is a good thing.
No, when this what happened to Chandler / Carl is riddled with so much drama. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
Well, I am looking forward to the next episode because I think it will be good. And Andy says it's the most emotional thing he ever done. I'm not ready for that, but I'm still looking forward to seeing them act. Yeah. So there's my.
I feel like this was a really good mid-season finale. Like, it was suspenseful. I think there were really good moments, especially with Carl and Chandler. And it was very emotional. And it was the most emotional episode of this season so far. Like, I don't even really remember what else happened earlier other than, like, stupid stuff. So I think it was a good episode, but, like, only singularly. Like, there was the build up wasn't really good, and there was a lot of lame stuff too. But I think they pulled you in so that you would want to, like, watch the next episode, which is what you want.
I mean, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
they've been failing all season at that, so that was a nice change.
Right. I'll see what they do with episode 9, and if it's not good, I don't know if I'm gonna continue. I don't know.
Don't break up the family.
I encourage anybody to stop who doesn't want to keep going.
It's the right
Yeah. It was just no need for
I'm
Carl
curious
to
to
die.
know why they made the decision, though. I was all for them doing something spontaneous, but I'm curious as to why they went this route, this path.
Well, you guys heard about Chandler's dad going off on what was it, Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and they made
all the details. Yeah, he wasn't told the whole truth at the time.
And his mom was on Instagram. It was like, that's how I was able to pull all those information. I don't know if it's there anymore, but she was just like saying what she needed to say to let people know that this is what happened. They was like, we're keeping you. Go ahead and enroll at Georgia University. They were like, yeah, go ahead, buy that house. They were like, okay. Yes.
That leads me to believe that something happened out of their control, because I don't think they purposely go do this if they weren't planning to keep him. I think something happened to the show that changed it. The R's ending soon, and they're probably going to focus on Fear the Walking Dead. Maybe that's why they put Scott Gimple over there, and they're adding all these people. It probably was unexpected.
Moving their pieces around. Wow.
But Fear of the Walking Dead is so boring.
Okay,
but Fear doesn't have all these lawsuits either. So I mean, it could be a strictly business situation right now.
And they don't have
I really do think that's why
he needs to admit faults and just pay him off. Pay Daryl off. Pay what is due to him, and just carry on.
But the thing is, these actors have been on The Walking Dead for 8 years. They're not going to stay. So maybe they figured it's best to invest in a newer show with newer actors instead of trying to keep the.
And that's fine, because I'm wherever Andy and Denai go, I will be right there.
Well, I think that's why they're ending it, probably.
End it on a good note or a sour note. At least kill Negan. Please kill him. Just kill him.
I don't think they're gonna kill Negan. I really don't. I don't.
Not now.
It's just gonna keep going down. It's just going down, and he's not dying.
I mean, Chandler basically said he's not dying.
Yeah,
what did he say exactly? That
in his interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he was talking about how the reason for his death was to propel Rick and Michonne's story and to teach Rick that he needs to forgive Negan, I guess. I don't know.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How does that work?
How does that
That is a wonderful question. I don't know, but that's what he said.
Yeah.
You know what? I just got through rewatching the very beginning of it where Carl and Rick are talking. And I don't understand how that Carl's dying is going to propel that direction at all.
I mean, he didn't have to die to do that. That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
So,
I don't get
They're just giving excuses.
And then the horrible way is he gets bit by Walker that we didn't even see. It happened in episode 6, and we're like, well, when did this happen and how? And, you got to go back to 6 to see it. So I'm like, that's just effed up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were trying to very quickly get us to say goodbye to Carl in this hour-and-a-half episode when we could have been seeing him for 8 episodes. And
the pacing was horrible. The pacing was horrible.
Of Eugene in every freaking episode.
He should have been in every single one.
Mm-hmm. It just felt rushed, so I don't know.
I just hate that I didn't see it coming. Like I didn't see, like, not in the sense of spoilers, because that's been out there for a while, but like when I'm watching the episode, I'm like, why? I see Chandler in the corner writing a note to his dad. Okay, that makes no sense. Then they do the close-up and I see the stubble on his face and he's sweating. And then I don't see it until I see it. I'm like, man, they were giving me hints the whole time.
That's what I was thinking about all day.
What's wrong with me?
I knew from the very first shot in that room.
It was pretty
I was like, he got bit by a Walker. Yeah, he got bit by a Walker. He's sweating up a storm. He writing his letters. He's sitting there sad. He crying.
And we haven't seen this fight yet.
I knew it.
Yeah. From the very first 5 minutes.
Again, when they started honing in on he and Rick's conversation, that's sort of when I knew it was coming. But my thing is, me personally, watching this show for so long, why didn't I pick up on him sweating? Like I thought he was just gonna do something, like a child. He was gonna offer himself to Negan, and when he did it, I'm like, oh my goodness, something's gonna happen here. But then he slid down the chutes and ladders. Okay, he's okay. Then the car blew up and he fell back. I'm like, okay, he's gonna die because of the brush fire. Okay, that didn't happen. Then he kept on limping. I'm like, what am I not seeing?
Yeah, I was thinking.
And then at the end, it was a bite. I'm like, oh my goodness. I finally see what it is.
I feel like
I don't either.
I feel like they kept
sliding across that gravel, tied. Come on now.
I feel like they kept trying to do stuff to like divert our attention and make it more like dramatic, I guess, when they were
gonna die.
Because
I was surprised at how obvious they made it.
It was so obvious.
Yeah. They gave us like 7 signs in this episode alone. And technically it was throughout the first half of the season because we kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I figured it out in episode 1, but in this episode alone, I was like, wow, they're just telling us that he's gonna die again.
Like,
right at the
time.
Including spoiling it on social media, but
the letters were just so extra.
I get that you guys saw that he was gonna die, because again, I saw that, but you guys knew it was gonna be a bite. Like, could you get?
Yes, he was sweating.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because of the sweat. That was how I knew.
Tired, fatigue. That's how I knew.
What?
And then the scene with Sadiq when they were fighting off the walkers, like that was just really like way, way, way too close. Like
Right.
It was.
they were
It
way
really
too
was.
Yeah, I
close.
knew something bad had happened or was going to happen when, they did the scene with the walkers. It was like,
I was like,
yeah,
I mean, that walker's just there like for a very long time. Like,
Yeah, they were really close.
nibbling on it.
right? It was just one tooth at a
And
time.
he was real good, because if I think I got bit, I'd be there, ow, God, he bit me. Oh, he didn't say nothing. He just got up and said, "Let's go." I'm like,
she was like, "Damn,
ow, dang."
Oh my goodness. What must that
But
be
see,
like to
how
know
did
you're dying, like walking
right?"
around?
Oh,
And I was thinking to myself, he was the only person that like left Alexandria when they were supposed to, and then still
Disobedience.
But he's the only one that made a sound backup plan to protect Alexandrians in case Negan came. Like, and he was bitten all this time. Like, what's wrong with the rest of you adults?
Well, yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, he's so smart. He had this great plan, and yet he got bit by a fucking walker.
But you know, he died the way
It was 3-on-1, guys. It wasn't
was meant
fair.
to be.
It was 4-on-1.
Gimple basically said life's not fair. Like, that's how.
I mean, that's true.
That's true, but I would have gotten it more from like an accident. But like, walkers are slow. They're deteriorating. Like, you can hear them coming up. So like this whole like, oh my God, suddenly there's a walker upon me. That shit makes no sense.
Yeah.
They basically gave him Andrea's death from the comic book, basically.
Yeah.
And that's
what they did.
That's right.
That's lazy to me, but you know.
That's what they did.
Also, I didn't sign up for that.
Like literally of all the people.
So I didn't watch Talking Dead last night. How was he though? Did he look uncomfortable?
Well, first of all,
he's not on till
Gimple. You mean Gimple? Emmy?
Yeah, was he on Talking Dead last night?
Yeah, he was. He was shaking. He looked a little nervous.
He should be.
Yeah, he did. He didn't look sure of himself. He's like, I'm either gonna sink, I'm gonna float. I don't know. You know, was this a good idea? Was this a bad idea? Bad fucking idea. That's what it is.
I didn't watch it. I knew that I knew he was gonna. Oh my God! Just
come out.
And then he didn't want to come out and say he was gonna die. That's what made me mad. What?
Had you guys heard about people protesting the show because of Chandler?
I
believe it
about that.
I just heard about it a few minutes before we started talking.
What does that even mean?
Oh,
UNESCO not watch?
Like they're not. I guess they're gonna stop watching.
I mean, it was like the best fans sending Gimple spoons.
Really? What?
They were sending him spoons for the pudding. For the pudding.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna why don't they just send the pudding?
The episode where Beth and Daryl was in the clubhouse and she was like messing around with the spoons or something. So the fans sent him spoons. Like they sent him spoons.
See, that's why he be doing stuff like this to us, because y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
But don't be doing that kind of stuff, because you ruining your show. You know what I'm saying? You fucking your own show up. Don't pay us no attention.
He has given him another show, so obviously he's doing okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I saw that they cut Chandler's hair, which I'm really glad about.
He's
in a mullet. In a mullet.
I mean, I knew it turned into a mullet and whatnot, but it was better than those, dead ends that was going on. That was
that's how he likes his hair. So
yeah.
Well,
Now I heard about that a few days before Sunday, so I wonder if he could have waited or he was low cut.
He's
trying
doing
to
a
be petty.
movie.
Oh,
and
easy.
song came out from his DJ name Eclipse. Which is really good, by the way. So you guys, when you have a minute, check it out.
Okay. What genre is it?
Isn't it like
Hold on, by Eclipse?
Oh,
it's really good.
Okay.
Is he singing or is he a DJ? No, Lullaby. I'm not entirely sure who that is. I'm sure a friend or whatnot. She's the one that's singing. He's just remixing. He's the music.
Okay.
So it's completely trance. It's like transcendent. It's amazing.
Okay.
I was like, look at him, and he mixed it so well too. It was like it started off really slow, and then it built up momentum, and then it was like, yes,
What do we know about the movie he's gonna be in? Or do we know?
He just said it's like a low budget movie, and he's playing a redneck. That's why he has a mullet.
Wow.
He's shooting in Birmingham, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone said Enid sings too, though, in real life. She sings better than she acts. I don't know.
Who?
Enid?
Oh, I didn't know everybody I didn't know everybody is a singer or a rapper.
Didn't you say that about Beth?
Who said that? I mean, I know she sings, but I think her acting is fine.
They're a little hard.
You know, I just heard.
Okay, so can I ask y'all a question? We can come back to Carl, but I want to ask y'all about the Rick and Negan fight. That was a bunch of BS.
Oh my
God, it was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, oh, that was just stunt after stunt.
Y'all can't all talk at the same time.
You know.
Yeah.
Why do they always
literally kill?
Why? Why do they always do Rick like that? It's like the only time where Rick ever had the upper hand was when he was fighting Shane. You never saw him on the upper hand with the governor. You never saw him on the upper hand with Daryl. And you never saw him on the upper hand with Negan. It's like, what the hell? It's like...
Well, he did grab Lucille.
I feel like
he could have hit him.
That?
He could have hit him.
I think they do it to put some balance in the story.
Yeah, I feel like they were pretty
You can't have Rick kicking everyone's ass and then it's really someone that's a challenge to him. He has to fall down and get back up.
But I think
I actually like that the governor whipped his ass and then Michonne came up behind him like, surprise. I actually liked that.
Yes, I agree.
I just don't like it when they just do him wrong in these fight scenes.
Well, he's just like equally matched. Like with the governor, he was shot, but he didn't lose with either of these other people. They just didn't finish.
My problem
is like the minute you put someone in the chokehold, that's it. You're done. I mean, it's
I feel like he could have at least knocked him out. You know.
Yeah.
Or hit him with the
rock. I'm sorry, when you fell on the ground, that was funny. So
he had the bat, instead of hitting him upside the head, he like knocked him with like the end of it.
Yeah,
it was like
his chest. Like, what are you doing?
They should have just had him use the bat, the barbed wire,
but they didn't.
Right? I don't get it. Like, stop putting Negan in all situations where he can die, but don't kill him. Like, that's so stupid.
But don't kill him.
So frustrating.
Could have at least knocked all his teeth in. Like, I don't.
Yeah, Carl.
Yes,
look at
you.
Yeah. You had the bat in your hand, Rick. You had the bat.
He tapped his chest. Like, I don't.
With the wrong
set.
And then I love when Negan told her. Negan was like, "Don't touch her! Don't touch her!" Negan. That was funny. When he had the bat, he was like, "Don't touch her!"
Rick should have threw it out the window at that point.
It was funny when Rick said, "Do you ever shut up?" I cackled.
Right?
Yeah.
On time. On time.
So it was funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that there wasn't a whole lot of Negan in this episode. It was just enough for me to be like, okay, I don't hate you as much today.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't have
I appreciate that he got embarrassed on more than one occasion.
Indeed. And his moment with Carl, I thought was really good. Like I thought they were having
a moment.
That honestly, like that made me teary, and I'm not like a teary crying kind of girl. Like the last time that show made me teary was Rick's reaction to Laurie's death, and that was after a hearty laugh. So that should give you some context as to how powerful that scene was. But that moment with Carl, like again, this show will get shafted and not like get any Emmy nominations ever. But I thought Chandler did an amazing job, and you know, I thought that was my favorite moment from that whole episode. I think. His speech.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was Michonne and Judith.
That
was cute.
That was so precious.
Yeah.
She
I
didn't
was
look
waiting
really
for.
years
I was
old,
just
but that
waiting
was
for a
good.
Mama or a Michonne. I was just waiting for something. Like,
She barely
is she
got a
not
clap.
talking? Like, why are you not?
She said
Is
bye
she
bye.
walking?
Her first words were to Michonne. Like, that's a big deal to me, and I liked it. I'm sure she's talked before, though. That was cute, though.
Yeah.
We didn't see it. It doesn't count.
Did y'all like Maggie shooting the guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Call me
Maggie was
Cupcake,
like the only
dude.
person
It
that
was
was really
long
smart.
overdue.
I wish it had been
Kill
Wow.
Jared.
Okay.
He still didn't kill the right one. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wish it had been Jared.
It's
Why
true.
are we keeping Jared? Like, what is happening?
Gross.
Do we
Maybe
know
we'll
the
just
guy
buy
that
it.
she killed was the reason why she picked him?
He's the one that stepped on her prenatal
vitamin.
vitamin.
Long hair.
What did you say,
Yes.
Kay?
My question was, do we know why she picked the guy that she did?
Oh,
The dude
because
who was
she
gonna
said,
shoot Jesus.
He stepped on her prenatal vitamins.
I don't think she knows that, but she knows that he took Jesus hostage. Her
Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
That guy. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I
he
was
faked
like,
it on himself.
okay.
Sorry, Tina,
You're
you're breaking
breaking
up. We can't hear you.
Oh.
Chanel, I think you need to leave and come back.
We're trying to
Wasn't it the guy that peed on himself?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that faked like he peed?
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, she got it.
That was terrible.
Sorry.
Connections, man.
It's just like that Jimmy Kimmel that makes fun of Trump, that drunken president or whatever skit he does. It was like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
who
thought
she
Maggie
decided
was
to shoot.
really, really good in this episode. Like,
Sorry.
And I love her with the coughing too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that was such quick thinking. I'm like, what is she doing? And then it's like, yeah, that's badass.
Yeah,
That was really good.
yeah.
Which was nice to see these last, was it the last episode where she put Gregory in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice to see Maggie's evolution because she was slow on the uptake, but
Oh, yes.
she's getting there.
She's going to get her
I have
revenge.
one little tiny problem. Just one. I mean, the makeup on Maggie. I was like, is she going to a party or something?
Maggie's
Because
Is
you
her
guys
face
didn't
beat?
notice?
Oh my
You
God.
guys didn't notice that the makeup
It's
on
the
her was like
pregnancy
heavy.
glow.
I didn't notice at all.
I thought she just had like dark circles or something.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's my
She's
TV
stressed.
because it was.
I mean,
She might be in the second trimester now. I don't know. It's been a week.
It's been 2 days.
No, still the
so.
first. It's the first. The first trimester, and maybe
She's
like a
glowing.
month
She's
in.
glowing. This is the glowing stage.
It's a month in.
but that's it. That's going.
My TV was like too dark or something.
Yeah, it's hard to see, like, depending on your TV, it was very hard to see that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had captioning on just so I could try to figure out where the voices were coming from and who was talking. I can't.
Oh, that was another thing that they were talking about, how this episode was aired, like how it was filmed. Like and so cheap. Like they couldn't even take the time to actually film it properly. So a lot of people were
about it.
a lot of people were complaining about the resolution. So but I didn't have any problem. I was able to see it okay.
There was too many of those.
Always.
I just always assume it's my
Gotta
TV.
squeeze in those sponsors. You know, gotta.
They literally. It was. I think at one point I thought they had a commercial going every 11 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
Probably.
That's
So
not
we
too
really
bad.
technically
Is that
didn't have an 80-minute episode.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
they have to still have the same amount of commercials every episode, but they move them around. Like the last 10 minutes didn't have commercials at all.
Okay.
But it was more than every 11 minutes for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot. Oh, Emmy, you got to see your machete.
Yes, I did, and it's been
Yeah.
claimed.
Yeah. Some people like that.
It's been claimed, you guys. It's been claimed.
I can't believe they brought him back for that.
Exactly.
I couldn't either, but I was like, God damn it. This webisode again.
Y'all said Taco Bell did not write this, or Taco Bell did write this?
No, Taco Bell sponsored.
They just pay for it. Okay, so it's somebody on AMC's team that's doing all that.
Yeah, someone
okay.
which is so ridiculous because up to now
they're
I'm
giving
still
somebody a chance, because I did pay attention to the commercial and it wasn't cool. The special effects on the one with the machete in her chest was not well done, I would say.
No, because you can actually see the block. You can see her the how it was angled, and the machete was actually in her chest. She had looked very blocky.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow. Like, how much money did they pay to do that?
Well, you got to see it, so I don't know. Are they gonna
I'm
continue
just
the
hoping
series
that's God and
past
they can.
now?
Well, that's
How did y'all feel about Simon?
Who's that? I'm kidding.
The one with the receding hairline.
I'm kidding.
You mean bootleg Negan?
Yes.
The Negan is actually scary.
Yeah,
I was actually shocked he made that with Maggie. I thought Negan wanted her dead. Like I was a little bit
I didn't understand that. Good point. Yeah, I didn't understand
I
it.
feel
I
like
thought
Simon-
they were going to try to bring everybody, the leaders together to try to kill him again. I mean, try to kill everybody, in front and center. So I was very surprised he took whatever he took from her, whatever deal it was. Oh, besides getting their guns.
See, that's where Simon kind of confuses me, because I feel like sometimes he's about it, and then other times he's really not.
He's backsliding.
Yeah, like, and it's always in one scene. Like, I was certain they were going to kill Jerry at one point, which I was just like begging and pleading.
But
so did they just take him? Like, where is he?
We have no idea.
I don't know. I just realized
they did not close that up.
And why does everyone? I mean, how did they know that Jerry was like a nice? I mean, he is a nice dude, but I feel like how did they know that? How did he know?
They just pulled a random person.
Like, we don't want to kill this nice guy with awesome. Like, he kept talking about how nice he was and stuff. Or something.
Well, I mean,
maybe Gavin
Jerry was always with Ezekiel when they did the drop-offs, right?
Yeah, they're familiar with him.
He does have a history, yeah.
What about King Ezekiel? He was looking nice last night.
Running
around, starting fires.
Me too.
Picking up people on the bus.
Were there more people in the kingdom alive than we thought? Or was that all saviors?
Yeah, it's
I was looking at the
pretty
population.
big community. I think it's the biggest one out of the three of them.
But I thought they ended up only having like 10 people left.
Well, like a dozen of them were at the hilltop with Maggie for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So they're like keeping the saviors prisoner. They're like watching the saviors.
Okay.
Diane was in Maggie's car.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Have we established the whole point of the saviors at the hilltop?
No, they're at the kingdom.
Bargaining chips.
They're taking over the kingdom.
Wait, what do you mean by that, Emmy? What was your question? Were you asking about why the saviors went to the hilltop and made a deal with Maggie? Or
she said, why are they taking over the kingdom?
She said, what's the point of the saviors at Hilltop? But I'm not sure what she meant by that.
I think she meant the kingdom. They took over the kingdom, they said. Personally, I think it would make more sense. Oh.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to do something really quick. I was just talking about the saviors that are captured over at the hilltop. What's their plan? Are they firing squatting or
they're hostages?
Yeah,
which is completely unnecessary if you ask me. They've killed so many people from our team. Alexandria, Hilltop.
But if the saviors capture someone, then she has a bargaining chip.
Yeah, she has 37 of them. They didn't look like 37, but she said she has 37.
It was a lot when I counted them.
I would have said I had 57. I would have just lied.
Yeah.
Maybe she did. I thought there were only like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked a lot lower than 37.
To that part.
I feel like she could have said she had more. Just say it.
Yeah.
Or just lied.
She's
So
learning.
they are doing stuff different with the story since they've killed Carl and Dwight is defected officially. I just don't know where they're going with all this stuff that they're doing.
And I know Negan had a personal vendetta against Rick, but I feel like Alexandria would have been the best place to take over if I had to choose some place to live. Yeah. I would have chose the place with all the solar panels and electricity in its own lake. That's just
Which he didn't notice until after he blew up the
second
place.
Of the third.
Even though he's like,
even then they have houses and not trailers, so that alone would have sold me.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna live in a house.
He was all happy.
He's not smart.
Like, I don't understand what's wrong with him. How do you go to Alexandria, explore the whole thing, and not see the solar panel?
He literally robbed every house.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you've been to Alexandria several times.
You've made spaghetti in one of those nice kitchens.
Right?
Yeah. You had your feet on their carpet, took the baby.
Thank you.
Like,
Shaved your face in the
dumb.
bathroom.
No.
No, but he just took the mattresses and burned them. Like, what?
Daryl got his jacket back.
No one cares.
When he ripped that off, I was like, that was so unnecessary.
No, I laughed.
Like, of all the things, first world problem.
Right? Oh, gosh.
That was such a mess. Can't.
And just
like,
so
you
clear
worried about people blowing up Alexandria because of you. Instead of trying to absolve yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to clarify. I think it was the last episode or episode before. Tara was saying that she wants to kill him. If you guys remember that. Was she talking about Negan or was she talking about Dwight?
She was talking about Dwight.
Okay.
One track mind.
I was actually shocked that Daryl put down his weapon first and Tara was still standing there.
Because Tara's an idiot.
Well, I mean, but Daryl's definitely more impulsive.
I mean, but like, I feel like Daryl's has had the chance to, like, I guess redeem himself more than Tara. Like, to be in a situation where he's making more mistakes or he can, I guess, fix the situation. So at some point he's going to see, like, all right, this is enough. But then he has to pay and, like, rip off the jacket. Like,
Tara is the most interesting to me right now because I feel like I just don't understand. Like, the whole reason why we even know Tara is because she rolled up on the prison with the governor. Misguided, sure, misled. But the point is that I feel like she, more than anybody, should understand the mentality of a savior coming from the other side of the line. But whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like some of these people don't learn anything. They're like fucking Teflon.
Like Tara.
I mean, maybe that is realistic because that's how people are. But it is really annoying to watch.
And people are sometimes awful, so
I will give Daryl credit for at least saying maybe it was my fault, even though Rosita shut that down for whatever dumbass reason.
What?
But I will give
Dwight. What was that?
Yeah.
She's gonna
Two
say
wrongs don't make a right,
and then turn around and defend Daryl. Ow.
Yeah.
Rosita was right the first time, not the second time. But I will give Daryl credit for at least acknowledging I probably fucked this up. This was probably me.
No, it was Tara talking about it wasn't our fault, and then Dwight asked Dwight.
Well, Tara needs to be bitch slapped then. I will just give Daryl the credit for at least reflecting, like, damn, maybe I fucked this up. At least the thought crossed his mind.
But he's
I will give him some
I don't give him any credit.
What did he say when he spoke to Michonne? Didn't he say it was okay?
Yeah, he said we did it or whatever, and then he asked Dwight later if it was his fault. When it's obviously your fault. Like, shut up.
Is it fully my fault?
Right, like how much of a percentage is it my fault versus Eugene?
What part did you play?
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
Well, are we ready to leave Oceanside alone?
I just want Sydney. That's all. Or Cindy. Is it Cindy?
We
in
kill
the show?
every time we show up. We kill people.
You know what? Though?
Cindy.
The grandma has to go.
Why was her old ass grandma out there anyway? What was she doing? She should have been at home making some fish. She ain't no damn fighter. Get out of here.
I still watched that episode.
Right. But see, that's why she got shot, because she's like, why are you
it was
out in the open? Like,
it was her fault on the one hand, but on the other hand, Enid knew that they were looking for the ocean people. Like, maybe she should have shot like a warning shot and not just killed some random person who was probably the people you were looking for.
Also,
maybe she should have shot. Like, they didn't have any guns. She could have gave a warning shot in the air, like, hey, back off, and saw who the fuck it was. But okay, whatever.
That escalated so fast from a distillery.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm gonna bring your president and shoot your grandma in the throat. It was crazy.
I don't know how you be friends after that, but okay. Right? Somebody shoot my grandma. I don't care why you came. You got to go.
That was weird.
Why did they put down their weapon? Aaron had a gun and Enid had a gun. You can't tell me to stand down. You don't have no gun. I'm sorry. I don't care how many pitchforks or spears you have. Like,
they felt
what's
bad.
wrong with you? I guess, but it's not gonna get any better.
But see, that's why they shouldn't have been on the road together.
That was
a weird team.
That was a weird team.
Very weird.
Together,
and they didn't even map out right.
And I don't know why, but like every time Aaron talks about Eric, I'm just like,
it's so underwhelming.
Now this time I'm like, these ladies have messed it up with me because I didn't see him crying, so I was like, stop it, Aaron.
Aaron should have just stayed at Hilltop and raised Gracie and been done with it.
I remember when we used to ride around together. Oh, okay.
Like, you were like 2 days ago. Of course you remember it. He seems so extra.
Aaron's confused with time, just like the rest of us.
He just lost his husband, so I understand why he's so upset. But it's like
the way he talks about it. It was like you would think it was a month ago. Of course you remember something that happened 2 days ago. Shut up.
I'm sorry, I was waiting for Eric to die since we first saw him, so I didn't even.
Yeah, I feel terrible, but nothing about it really moves me.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when Aaron and Eric invited Daryl over for spaghetti, and I remember looking at Eric like, they gonna kill this fool. I'm so terrible.
I have a call.
What's going on? Did we fall in the couch?
I just imagine somebody sliding down.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think that Enid and Harsha cook up before he dies?
Wait, what?
She's not gonna get back in time.
What?
Hook up?
I forgot
He's
they were
sick.
together. Not gonna lie.
Carl is
I'm
dead.
just saying. He's not dead yet.
If she did that, she
She's
was
gone. She's gonna come back.
Dead.
She's
He's
dead.
at the ocean. What are you talking about?
I see what you're trying to say, Jeannie. I mean, one last kiss before I die, right?
Give him
I wonder if he wrote her a note.
Okay, listen. No. He's a minor.
Oh,
No,
Yes.
he's gonna be surrounded by his mom and dad. Not,
okay.
Wait, did you just say he's a minor?
Yes, I'm in my 30s,
Yeah.
so an 18-year-old is a
isn't Carl
minor.
like 13?
I don't know what era you guys are living in, but teens have been pretty much doing the horizontal mambo.
Okay, that's fine. An adult doesn't want to talk about it.
I'm just saying, we don't want to send them off. We don't want to send them off.
No. Make it stop.
I just put it out
it's
there. I
taking
let
a
it
strange turn.
Yeah, I don't like this show.
Hey, so what about I actually don't know what to change it to.
Anything else?
I had a dream about the governor making an appearance, like in an episode, like an upcoming episode for some
He's
reason.
probably gonna be in Red Machete.
They said they had someone that looked like him in one of those zombie montages earlier this season already. One of the zombies looked like the governor.
Okay.
It's like I actually kind of miss the governor, really. At least when he talks, you want to listen. Like you actually want to listen to what he has to say.
Well, he has a very soothing voice.
I think the music that plays when Negan is around is kind of similar to the governor's theme.
I
feel
love
like.
the governor's theme. I don't even notice it with Negan, but that thumping, that was really cool that they have for the governor.
Yeah, I think Negan's. I don't. Yeah, it's not Negan's. I don't think Negan has a theme, but when he comes in, the music reminds me of the governor's theme. I noticed it in this episode at least.
Is it that theme that they used when he was chasing Andrea in that abandoned warehouse? That
Well, they used
music
it a few times for him.
It's like a heartbeat, sort of.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. I know what you're talking about.
I really like that.
What do y'all think what's gonna happen with Dr. Carson and Gabriel?
Well, I guess they're gonna make it to the hilltop, and then Gabriel's gonna die. At first, well, okay. So my thing is, Eugene's doing something to try to make up for what he did, which has caused all this trouble. And I'm like, what he's doing.
Still Rosia's fault while he's there.
But what he's doing doesn't make up for it at all. To me.
What?
Yeah, he'll forever be trash now.
Helping Gabriel get Dr. Carson back to the hilltop isn't enough. Like, I don't see why he should be able to sleep. You should just
it's like sipping. Yeah.
I really, I hope they don't try to like
redeem him.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, but how?
If Gabriel is going to vouch for Eugene once he shows up at Hilltop. So Maggie's going to be the first one to get that message. So, I mean, they'll definitely, at the very least, Maggie will take him back. I hope Father Gabriel doesn't die, but Rick was standing at 2 graves at Hilltop, so maybe he's the second one.
Oh, dear.
I thought they confirmed that was Glenn and Abraham.
No, it was 2 graves on the other side of that fence.
No,
the other side of the scaffolding.
Okay, someone said that was confirmed, but I guess
I think it still is, to be honest. But because
still what?
I think it was still Glenn and Abraham, but because of
someone showed 2 screen caps, like Glenn and Abraham were on one side, like there's some scaffolding or something behind them on the fence, and Rick was on the other side of that. I don't know where I saw it.
Well, he's wearing the same
someone posted
shirt. They're so annoying. Whatever.
Yeah. Do you guys think that that we should officially stop dealing with the trash people?
Duh.
Is it official yet?
They stink.
I'm just so mad at like all the potential. Like that was wasted.
For what?
Because just thinking, every time I think about the garbage people, I think about the Whispers, and I'm just like, what are we gonna do?
What are you doing?
What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, someone speculated that Jadis is gonna become Alpha,
and it makes so much sense. But I also feel like they're not going to do that, which makes me mad. Because
Jadis doesn't look alpha material to me.
She doesn't necessarily look like her, but I think she has the potential to be like rebuffed into like a crazy person.
To me, I don't
like Alpha crazy.
Madison Clark,
but she was very smart. And
what does Alpha look like?
She was blonde.
Lady.
She was bald.
Skinny.
That's I got so.
All she gotta do is
blonde-headed, long, stringy blonde-headed. But she was just cunning. She was smart. She played pretty much her people and Rick people. She pretty much played everybody except for Negan. Negan got the one up on her. So,
I mean, after she played him, though.
Well, that sounds like what happened with Jadis.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It would be perfect. But I feel like they just dragged
But they can't do that again, can they?
That's why I'm confused.
Like, they probably are going to do it now that I think of it.
Yeah.
To me, that
does no one else think that the Whispers will be connected to Kirk at all? It's just me.
Connected to what?
Madison and who?
The Fear of the Walking Dead people.
Oh.
That's what I heard. It could be, but
I don't know. I don't
already like branches and shit walking around.
Yeah. I don't like Jadis as Alpha because that means she has to stay on the show longer than she has to stay on the show. So no, she needs to go on and die.
I feel the same way, but I don't think
no.
she's going anywhere.
I feel that way about, but then she might be a totally different, like, not totally different, but a slightly different leader as the Whispers, because I like the Whispers in the comics. The garbage people are garbage. But the Whispers are actually really interesting, and it's a cool story. But it's a cool storyline, and I just feel like, what are they gonna do to bring them in if they do?
I honestly wonder
how it's going to work because you got to understand, Carl plays a very important role with the Whispers.
That's why I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
it's going to be Carl. It's going to be
what were you going to say,
Enid and.
I was just wondering if we're even going to get to that based on the idea.
I don't. It's like this feels like the ending to me. Like, if they don't even renew for season 9, like I feel like that would make sense. Like, with
I'm
where
sure
we're
they're
going.
going to do that, but that would be weird.
They're
but I feel like season 9 could very well be the last.
I'm pretty sure they'll renew, but if they didn't, like, it feels
like it's weird that they haven't announced it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they trying to shock us again?
That's what I was gonna say.
I think
feel
maybe
like they're creating some drama.
They're gonna announce it like at the end of the season. It's the last season or something. It's renewed for the 9th and final season.
Wow.
I don't know.
Sign up for Game of Thrones here. Like, what are they?
I think there's rumors going around that Game of Thrones isn't going to come out until like 2019.
Yeah, no, that's true.
We already knew that, I thought.
Yeah.
No, I just found this out, so it's new for me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not a rumor. They've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just found this out, so it's new for me.
I'm telling you, it's not a rumor. It's real.
Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome, Emmy.
Well, to add more maybe context to it, I didn't understand why it would take that long, but they were saying because of all the CGI, they need a lot of time. So they're going to be shooting from October to the summer of next year, and then from that point on, they're going to be, doing all of the special effects. And it's so much dealing with the walkers that it's going to take that long to get everything wrapped up. Everything.
Well, at least they're doing their homework.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
But even they're not perfect. A lot of people hold on to characters, and we were talking about, being spontaneous, but the Carl thing was, I don't know. I hate they went that route, and I'm always curious as why. I wonder one day, can they explain, like, why? Was it a corporate decision? Did Gimple have an epiphany one night? What happened that made you say, let's kill Carl this season?
It just feels so final. Like, you don't kill off main characters like this until
the baby.
The end.
You don't kill the baby.
I just don't know.
Talking about Carl is just getting me aggravated again.
Well, what do you guys think how do you guys think it's going to affect Rick and Michonne?
Right? I don't know.
Well, I
was already
losing
it before the whole Carl thing.
Right.
He was going on rampages, and it was a pretty cool scene, but she's devastated, clearly. Like, this might be like her breaking point.
I was just gonna say, I feel like they're pushing towards her like reverting back, because in this episode we see it more, like just her like freezing in one spot, and then her like chop sueying that dude to death. But then also throughout like the season so far, she's had those like little mini moments of just panic, or like where she just freezes and stuff, and I'm just like, oh no. Or making dumb decisions like going with Daryl.
Right.
And almost ruining her life. But yeah.
I've been thinking about how they're gonna go ahead.
No, that was it.
I said I was just been thinking about how they're gonna react, Michonne are gonna react when they find his letters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, why would you bring that up? Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, I okay. And I want to share the pain with you guys. I thought we were close.
No.
Like what?
Yeah.
I think that was not on my mind at all. Yeah.
Oh, it like really.
Right.
Has
Well, I
been
think that scene where Rick is crying and there's like a painted glass thing on the porch or
in the
something.
background.
I think he just finished reading Carl's letters, what he was doing.
Wow.
I am tired.
Do we understand what Carl wanted Rick to do? He was like, why should we have to fight? What did he want Rick to do? Not fight and do what with Negan?
I think he wanted to like think
talk
about
to
the
him.
future and not just be concentrated in the now, because Rick is really concentrated on just like the war, but he's not. I don't think he even considered like, okay, so what happens if some saviors are like, I surrender? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, Rick
surrender,
was
you
gonna
know?
take him, but I don't know. I got the impression that maybe Carl didn't want Rick to fight at all against Negan, but I didn't understand what he really wanted his dad to do.
Yeah, I think he wanted him to go the same route that Herschel was talking about in season 4. Like usually when the voice of reason, that's when they die. I should have known better. But he wants them to, that speech that Rick gives the governor and all those people, like we can work together. That's what Carl wants. Like he just wants the fighting to stop.
But he saw him kick. Okay, I don't get it. I don't know.
I think he was like, he's not obviously okay with the fighting, but I feel like
Maybe-
just him like reminding Rick of like what's happened in the past. Like that's all I kept thinking. I'm like, they've done this back and forth before. Like,
or maybe
Carl
because he
hasn't
had
always
that
been the
one-on-one
one.
on with him that he has a little bit more, what's the word, patience, and he's like, maybe you need to, extend the olive branch, but
Exactly.
he still
He's like reminding
killed
Rick of
all
what
the people.
he taught him.
I don't know.
But I don't think not. You know what? I just want Negan to die. And obviously, with him doing this whole speech business, that's not what's going to happen. So that's exactly what that whole talking conversation Carl was having with his dad was. We are led to believe that in order for everyone to come together as one kumbaya moment is to not kill the saviors, and especially not kill Negan. And they want to brace us, the fans, for it. But it's not working for me because he killed Glenn.
Do you guys, I think I said this a long, long time ago, but do you guys think in retrospect that maybe we should have just left Alexandria?
No.
No?
What?
I think they shouldn't have offered
Just
to
find
kill the
another
saviors.
place. Don't even, hold on to. I know it's a nice establishment. You got a gate.
It's
and
real nice.
But they got solar panels.
And solar
I
panels.
don't even have that.
I'm not leaving electricity. Like
that would be like
water.
live on the streets.
And nice houses.
I don't even have none of that pre-apocalypse.
Their house is nicer than my house. I'm not leaving.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
They got full stairs. I don't even have.
And like even if they left, they would still
pretty much blew up half the community. So and the other half is like dead or deadish. It's gonna take a lot to build it up again. But they're not leaving.
And I guess
I'm
they
gonna
to push the rebuilding the community kind of story. Rebuilding.
I'm gonna agree with Carl that there should be some kind of peace treaty reached. Like it's not that many people left. It's no time for all this bullshit. Like there's bigger problems. And I know Negan killed Glenn and Abraham, although Glenn's death is still Daryl's fault. But anyway, taking off the personalization, like Rick and his people killed a lot more saviors than Negan killed that night. So if they can reach an agreement and be cool and not fight,
they can do that, but Negan needs to die.
That's the ideal plan.
Why
but it doesn't have to be Rick that kills him.
We don't
just
need
needs
to be
die. Doesn't matter who
forgiven.
kills him. Yeah.
That's
Negan
is necessary
so good.
To keep the saviors in check. He is their leader, like it or not. He makes the call. Like they're not going to listen to anyone else but Negan. Like he's necessary for at least that reason alone.
But then they'll just
for a minute there. They'll
end up choosing.
I hate bringing up the comics again. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But Dwight became the leader of the Saviors when they took Negan into their prison at Alexandria. And he wasn't sure how to be a leader because there was a moment where he was cracking under crisis because they were coming to him and asking him all these bunches of questions for no apparent reason. And he opened up, I remember him opening up a closet to find the bat. It kind of pretty much gave him the whole, that level of confidence that he needs to like pretty much go to war with the Whispers, with Alexandria and the Hilltop and the, you know, because of that whole gathering, after the gathering and that big murder with the heads on the spike and how they lost a lot of people. It was like they were all didn't know what to do, and Rick was like closed off, and he was like, you know, everyone just was like scattered, and it was pretty much Dwight who brought everyone back together again by saying, "Let's go after the Whispers." So,
yeah, I mean, I don't care who it is. I'm sure that
Just
somebody
not
will be
Negan.
able to take the lead, but Negan needs to die.
and I agree with you, Kay. I agree with you. Like. Since last season, and they can kill him. They can kill Negan.
I mean, if they
but
can
the writers won't.
the show without Rick, then I think they can kill Negan and find a new leader for the Saviors.
Yeah. There's no reason why Negan should go.
Mm-hmm. But you know,
I think that Morgan. We saw Morgan with King Ezekiel. I think he's gonna try to help King Ezekiel get away from Gavin. I don't know what he's gonna do, but we did see him we did see him, you know, creeping in the corner. So that's coming up.
That would be awkward if he just ran away.
That was
like, sorry, my dude. You're on the other side.
Like those garbage people. I can't believe we spent 3 episodes on them and they just left.
They did so fast.
Which is what they do when Saviors start shooting. They go.
Are you surprised that Carol just kind of, well, no, she doesn't left because she went back to, I guess, help the other people who she told to go to her house. But, like, I just felt like her, like, Ezekiel no is really weak.
That was like, so weak.
Like, it could have been like a really romantic, like, I thought they were building up to something really romantic.
It was like she was like, she needs to cough. Like, Ezekiel no.
Like, it was like, yeah, it was like, it was such a tropey, dramatic moment. Like, he's locking himself in to, like, protect his people. And then she said, Ezekiel, no. And it was just so lame. I was disappointed.
I'm sorry.
She was
I really did laugh.
Because he was already
in
closing the gate. So she knew her no wasn't going to change anything.
Then why did she say
She was just... It was like
she could put some more bass
she
in
just
her
sort of
voice.
had to, like, no. Okay, he's gonna do it. All right. So
she almost didn't like finish the no.
Wait, did she call him Your Majesty or something?
No.
I think she did.
Okay, I was like, did I imagine that? Like when she saw him, it was so weird. I don't know. Whoever wrote that.
Yeah, that was weird too. It didn't do what I thought it would do, or what I was expecting.
Well, Eugene says it's kill pill. I want to know how he's gonna use it. And
he better not use it on himself.
Nah, he's not. He's a survivor.
He would never. He's all about using survival.
Yeah, he's about
He's not really about it.
Maybe he'll give it to Gabriel.
Right? See, that's a very humane and thoughtful thing, but he also doesn't have the capacity for that. So I don't. Yeah. I hate him so much.
Yeah. Worst.
Yeah. So maybe you guys can just remind me real quick. What exactly was the exchange between Simon and Maggie? I know she got the coffin, but what did he get from her?
There was no actual exchange. Was there not?
She just goes back and produces
Yeah,
right?
he just wanted her to go
Oh,
back
okay.
and
Make
follow
sure you
the
But
got
she
wrong
didn't
working
leader.
actually
for it.
like.
Okay.
She didn't actually like say, "Yeah, I surrender" kind of thing. She was like, "Just
She just
please give
looked
me
at
the
him.
box. I'm shaking." But
Okay.
so I think in his head, he thinks that she agreed to do whatever.
And then she
But
went in and killed
in
that guy
actuality,
point blank
exactly.
range. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
she's plotting.
Okay. Okay. Did we see Tobin when everybody was underneath the tunnel? Did Tobin make it?
I feel like we
Tobin
did.
is dead.
No, he's not.
Tobin!
Tobin's like in roach.
A flying roach.
Keeps going
And
back up.
Scott.
I'm like, you know what?
If that's
What
what's up
side
with
of this
Alexandria,
episode?
we don't have that many people, really. If everybody in that tunnel, if that's it, then they're short.
Yeah. That was like 8 people.
And then what is Negan gonna do when Barcode make it back to the compound and tell him about Dwight?
She's not dead?
No, she
No,
made
she got away.
they missed her. Barcode.
I don't understand how.
White? What the fuck?
I really don't understand how. There's
He was right next, like right in front.
They're not really good at close blank range shots at nighttime, you guys. I don't know.
Or in the day, or when it makes sense.
or ever.
Oh my god, I cannot believe I thought for sure she was dead.
No, Barcode is loose.
That's what I get for live
Negan's
tweeting.
gonna know what's going on.
They just need to shake up Dwight's position, because he really he could have just been like, okay, just gonna be a part of your alliance now, but they just have to make it difficult.
Yeah,
like the man isn't committed already.
Yeah. Daryl took his jacket. Rosita helped him inside the sewer or wherever they were waiting at. I'm like, okay, I guess we lost Carl and got Sadiq and Dwight.
Sadiq cute.
Yeah, he is, but he doesn't talk. So I'm like, what is he about?
Give him time. Give him time. These are strangers.
I can never like Sadiq because he's the reason Carl got killed. So.
God damn. Okay.
That's
when you
over
put it that way. You're over.
And it's not that he's the reason that Carl got killed, but he's the reason that Carl got killed in a dumbass way.
That is also.
Yeah, I mean it's Carl's fault for sure, but at the same time, if he hadn't found him in the first place, we wouldn't be here. So
say that.
Canceled before you even started.
Drinking bottled water to strangers in the woods.
Grand opening.
Your daddy told you to stay in the house. Stop that.
So I had another morbid thought.
No, stop. No.
Who do you guys think is going to put down Carl?
Oh, I've already thought it would be Richonne.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? That's a good question.
I feel
Only
like
because of the story so far. Yeah.
If she doesn't, like, I'm not going to be mad if she doesn't because it sucks that she has to put down 2 of her sons. But I feel like it would be good closure for them that she would keep her promise that she made in the next world.
And it'd be a callback to when he did that thing with Deanna too. So yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Okay.
If it's Daryl though, I'm never watching the show again.
Oh, no, I don't even want to speak that into existence.
Listen, when he was holding Judith, I was like, let go of that baby.
Right? You a danger.
Yeah.
You are a danger. Get away.
Well, maybe if it's Daryl, Carl will turn around and like bite him.
Please. I hope so.
That's very wishful thinking.
Look what you've done.
I mean, but if we're gonna kill people for no reason, Daryl might as well be on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when do you guys think All Out War is gonna end?
Never.
Yeah.
When the show ends.
Right? This season, I mean, the end of April.
And Negan will be the last one standing. Bet.
And Lucille. Don't forget Lucille.
Oh, yeah.
What if Lucille's the last one standing?
Stop.
This is all very upsetting.
JK.
Stop.
Almost gave me a headache.
If it doesn't end this season. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't know what to say. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would like if it ended in episode 15, and then we got the time jump in episode 16.
That would be delightful.
But it probably won't happen because the show doesn't like really nice things.
No.
Well, because of Carl, I guess that dream sequence was a dream in episode 1. So maybe they won't cut his hair and make him limp. So
I feel like
that's something,
try.
I guess.
That is something. Because Andy's hair was long throughout the whole season, and I can't see. I don't know.
Then they'll be able to just cut his actual hair. So
do not.
No,
I mean,
not like that.
I don't want them to, but like they won't have to use that god awful wig if it's like, you know what I mean. If it's 5 years later, the wig's not necessary.
And let him have his hair. Yeah. They did say that the dream sequence will be back next episode.
What?
Okay. For why?
Probably because it's Carl's dream.
Oh, right. That makes sense. I was like, don't torture us again.
Wow.
Like, I was thinking maybe next episode, at least part of it will be kind of like when Tyrese died. And he had a bunch of hallucinations, and it was really artful and beautiful. I wonder if Scott Gimple wrote it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing if he did?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know anymore.
Fair.
I've watched the episode so many times, but not to completion because I just don't want to see him dead. I cry so much.
Yeah, I didn't cry though. I thought I was, but I didn't.
I didn't either.
Very proud of myself. Like I got that. You know how you get ready to cry, you make that ugly face, and that's why I stopped. I made the ugly face.
Wait, the tears just didn't come out?
No, exactly.
You cried like Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hold on. That's not confirmed. I haven't seen. You guys keep saying that. I need to actually see it.
There were no tears. They weren't even welling.
He's definitely not Andy.
Not even red. Like, just.
Yeah, I started to cry when Michonne like dropped to her knees, but nothing ever quite came out. I think because I just knew it was happening, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
But next episode, I probably will like cry my eyes up.
So, do you guys? I think we've talked about this all the time. Just mentioning it for conversation's sake. That spoilers ruin the show more than it's already ruined by the writing.
No. The writing's
for me it
pretty
does.
bad sometimes.
Because for me, someone who really wasn't trying to find out, I ran across again the theory where it was Judith, Gracie, and Coral, and I wasn't even, trying to be spoiled.
Oh, that's rude.
But that I heard that any three of them could happen, and then over and over again, I wouldn't even really pay attention to the content on YouTube, but I would see a lot of thumbnails, and they would always have Carl, is he gone? I'm like, okay, something's going on in this little community. So I think I don't know. Somebody was saying that it's harder now not to be spoiled, because even if you go and send the finished product to get closed captioning, they get leaks from there. They get leaks from people waiting on the side of the road while they're filming. It's so much that's into this industry to not keep the element of surprise a element of surprise.
Well, the thing is, if you don't go looking for it, it's pretty hard to be spoiled before the episode airs. Like, you have to be a part of like a fandom to be spoiled. But
well, I mean, yeah, if you're on the internet, if you're on Tumblr, if you're on YouTube, you're gonna get spoiled.
Especially watching videos about
I wasn't on Tumblr with it, but I was on YouTube, and it's because everything I look at is about the show, I guess. But it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't trying, and that's just horrible.
But if you're watching stuff about people that follow the show that closely, you're bound to be spoiled. If you just go about your regular day, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, I mean,
So
like, I've been trying to avoid spoilers. Like, I'm not on Tumblr as much. I don't watch like any videos, like, but I still was spoiled. Like, I saw a rumor about it like once, and like it's been on my mind that whole time. So, like, it's if
but we
you
didn't have spoilers for this. Like it was just speculated, basically.
yeah.
Oh, okay. It wasn't. Okay. I thought it was because of the thumb. Again, it was more than one that I saw. I kept seeing it. I thought it was an extab. Okay, it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, Chandler asked the Spoiling Dead because they didn't send out screeners for this episode to anyone, and Chandler asked the Spoiling Dead not to spoil the episode, just so people wouldn't know for sure what was going to happen. So for this episode only, we just didn't. Nobody knew for sure what was going to happen. It was just a bunch of rumors and speculation.
Okay. Well, they ruined it though, in my assessment, because I ran across enough to be like, this could happen. Like I said, I saw all of it. Them, Carol, Daryl was just me throwing in some stuff, but it's like, okay, I mean, somebody's gonna die.
Well, the thing that really upset me is that The Walking Dead spoiled it by saying something big was going to happen. So everybody was already going in thinking, all right, well, somebody's going to die. Then they made it hella obvious that it was Carl right at the beginning. So it was like, okay, y'all did that to yourselves. And I don't know why. That was a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was just gonna say that when you really love a show, you like talking about it with other people. So you want to find like what other people are saying on the internet. And as soon as you do that, then everything becomes spoiled for you because like people do talk about and speculate about things and you just find out stuff. So it's like, if you really want to enjoy the show and get into it and talk about it with other people, then you just end up getting spoiled. Like there's no way that you can avoid it really. And then if you avoid it, then it's like you don't really care anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I think you can avoid it if you're not on Tumblr. The source for spoilers.
Well, for me, it was YouTube. But yeah, I think if I try to do it again, I'm going to try to get off YouTube because I do like listening to fan theories. And again, if it's a theory, it's different than someone saying this is going to happen. But it was so many people posting this, that it happened that, again, it was in my head.
Well, that happens to me with Game of Thrones a lot. Like, I don't want spoilers for that show, but so many people offer theories that one of them is probably going to be correct, or you're going to be disappointed if it's not correct. Like, it is the kind of, like, a downfall of wanting to discuss a show in depth is that you're probably going to ruin it for yourself if you talk about it too much in a certain way.
Right.
But the other
so
side
it's like
of
a double-edged sword.
about it. Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, I don't think it ruins it, but I just think it's hard to avoid because you do want to talk about it. So
yeah.
I think it certainly changes things.
I think because that seed was planted, that it didn't hurt as much. And again, that's sort of what I wanted. If I didn't know, I probably would have lost it. But knowing that it was there, in a way, I'm able to prepare myself, and that's what helped me through Abraham and Glenn in a sense. But for this one, I really wasn't trying to. I was like talking about the show, obviously, but I didn't, I want an actual theory or actual prediction. I don't want you to say, well, this is what's happening, but then it was so many people saying it. So like I said, for me, it did. So I think it sort of ruined it for me. And maybe I will do something a little different moving forward, but I think it was a little ruined.
Ruined about what?
We're talking about Carl. And then
Spoilers.
when you start the show and you see him and Rick having this one-on-one, I'm like, oh man, shoots.
I don't know. I felt like I knew Glenn was gonna die, and I just because it was so gruesome, I lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it was just different with this one. Like the show built this one up so much. Admittedly, they didn't do like a stupid cliffhanger, but they built up this ultimate moment, and we all knew somebody was going to die, and then the theories are coming out, and the spoilers are low-key coming out. So it was like, all right, we all know it's Carl. Like, what?
The thing is,
Well,
he's
I
also
kind of
not
got
dead
drunk
yet,
last night.
so
Right.
I think that that's part of it. And the next part where we actually see him die will probably be terrible to watch.
You know what? That's a good point. You are so right.
Well,
Oh, we do have a cliffhanger then.
But no, I
Cliffhanger
think
then.
I
Kind of.
think
We
when
know
it's
it's Carl
final
at least.
goodbye, I think that's probably when it's gonna happen. That's a good point. That's a good point. I know
Yeah.
me. That's probably when I'm gonna lose it. Because right now
I didn't
we
realize
don't know.
that
He
we were
could
gonna
still
get
have 3 or
more.
4 more episodes. For all we
Well, no,
know.
he has one more. Sorry.
Oh, it's only one.
Yeah.
You just spoiled it, Ashley.
They spoiled it for us. Scott Gimple spoiled it.
Oh,
Well, Chandler spoiled it, actually. He said his last episode is February 26th.
dang.
But I mean, it's The Walking Dead, so we know people are gonna die.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
It's how
important thing
they
is
die.
how they die and how it
Yeah,
affects the story. And
I get it, but still,
I don't think it was well done.
not at all.
Not
And then
done yet.
but I just didn't like how they led us to believe that he got bitten in the last week episode, but you don't see that he got bitten. Like they pulled one over on us.
I think it's sort of fair the way they did that part. I'm just upset that I didn't suspect it because it was only him and Sadiq in the forest, and it was 4 walkers on top of him. So one of them could have bit him. That's reasonable. But I didn't see it coming. That's what I'm disappointed about.
The problem
like
with
that
scene, I had a problem with that scene because we've seen that scene before in season 4 with the walkers on top of him, and he was able to shoot all of them.
It was misleading. They wanted to remind us of that episode and like, oh, he's fine. There's nothing wrong.
Callback.
So that happened.
Dumbass callbacks.
Which is surprise.
That was terrible.
I mean,
I'm fine
good
with
for
it.
them, but
Many.
like shame on them for the way they did it.
But I've been
It's like what they did with Bob, which, I mean, I kind of thought that's what happened with him too, but I wasn't sure. This is basically the same thing.
Right.
We've been here before.
It's just too many
I've
callbacks.
been here before.
That
It's
is
Oh,
Bob.
stupid ass thing.
Look at you.
Yep.
That's a good one. I
Bullshit
forgot about
oh
old
my
Bob.
goodness. Well, I've oh god, that song Carl Papa that was #1 when it first came out back for season 4. Well, it's #1 again. People are like downloading it and again.
They
I
should
still
And
don't know
they're
what that
just-
song sounds like. But
What is this song?
You never
called?
heard Carl
Papa?
Papa? That song is everything.
The song is called Carl Papa.
When you have a minute,
like a
go to
parody
like Bad Lip Reading.
Okay.
Go to Bad Lip Reading on YouTube and look up Carl Papa.
okay, I will.
It's like
It's a little
when
bit
it
catchy.
when it first came out and it was available on iTunes. It was like the #1 downloaded song on
It's on
iTunes.
iTunes?
Damn.
Yeah,
Go off.
yeah, it's on iTunes, man. Bad
Easy
Lip
Street
Reading
was
is
#1. Walking Dead has some pull.
The song. This is a nightmare.
yeah, but it's not a Walking Dead song. It's a Bad Lip Reading song. It's completely separate.
It
was
It played
like
on the
to-
show though, so yeah.
It was like just to. It wasn't. Their whole intention was just to make fun of like lip syncing or reading lips, and this is what they got from reading lips, and it did so well that Bad Lip Reading went ahead and make it into a song, a longer song, and available for download. But what they weren't prepared for was that it was the #1 downloaded song.
There's a video for it too,
Let me
right?
find out.
Yeah, there's a video and
Bad Lip
everything.
Reading is actually funny. I laughed.
That was like there's a part where he talked about his mother, like like my life is already hard. Pretty much, I cut my mom in the dark, and like he's just no. It's not gross. He was just trying to say like he'd been through a lot. Like he killed his mom. He's walking in tunnels in the dark. I mean, he's a child of the apocalypse, and from this child, you got like.
It's interesting to watch, so you should watch it. It's fine.
Well, no, now I'm just, what I'm saying is we've seen Carl grow up. We watched him grow up. He was this annoying kid in season 2 that everyone was just like, can this boy just sit down for a minute? And then here he is being a leader, and then they do this to him. And I'm like, that's so half-ass.
Yeah. I just think it sucks because it happened, 1, but 2, because I thought, or I heard, or I got it somewhere. I don't know where I got it from now. But anywho, for some reason, I got the impression that Carl wanted to go to do other things. And then to hear Gimple did it, that's just a little different. A little different spin to it.
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
So it just makes it a little bit different for me.
I think that made it different for everyone. Everybody thought he was wanting to leave because of college and starting his life. And to hear he was blindsided, it was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But I do think something changed. I don't think they would have done that to him on purpose. Yeah. Maybe AMC would, but I don't think, hopefully not Scott Gimple.
Yeah.
It's going to come out eventually.
I have a side question to ask.
Huh?
I have a side question to ask. What are you guys going to watch for the next 2 months without The Walking Dead?
Christmas?
Catch up on my DVR shows.
What shows?
Well, Dirk Gently. I'm all about that.
Gently?
Yeah, Dirk Gently, Holistic Detective. It's really good.
Okay, yeah. I saw part of that. Yeah. It's British, right?
Yeah, it's British,
yeah,
and I have a thing between Elijah Wood character and the black girl that plays like his sort of love interest.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm already shipping them. Like, get on with it.
Okay.
But she's fairly new. She kind of remind me of I don't know if you guys seen The Bronx Tale with
what's her name?
Classic.
She
the only black girl
reminds me of that girl. She's like that rich, dark skin.
The only black girl in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already shipping them. But the whole premise is like really, really weird. But you're like, what am I watching? It gets really trippy, and then you're like, what the? But it's really good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm watching The Crown.
What?
The Crown.
I heard that's good, and it's on YouTube, but I haven't.
It's on YouTube.
Not YouTube. I'm sorry, Netflix.
Oh,
I heard.
Like, whoa.
I'm sorry. YouTube is on my mind. I'm sorry, but I heard that's good. It's in the second or third season or something.
The second season just started, but I started the first season like a week ago, so I have a lot to catch up on.
Okay.
And I heard this show on Netflix called Easy is really good, so I'm gonna try that.
I just finished watching the first season of The Good Place. That was pretty good.
Oh,
I saw that.
There's mixed reviews about that, but it was funny.
It is very good.
Okay. I mean, at first, I was kind of skeptical of the Kristen Bell's character. What's her name? Eleanor.
It's funny, right? It's a comedy show,
but it's really good overall. It's really good. I was just nervous because I was like, am I gonna laugh at like a character that probably would have voted for Trump? But I hung with it, and yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Are you guys into science fiction? Because that show Black
Matter.
It's back. It's trippy. I love it.
I might consider it. I'm honestly probably just gonna be catching up on reality TV and trying to read.
Yeah, and I need to write, so I don't have no business watching TV.
That too.
Yeah.
I literally don't.
Yeah.
What's everyone reading? If anybody's reading anything. or wants to read
I was
something.
You know what?
Outlander series.
There. Oh my God, where's my Kindle? There is a book that was recommended through Audibles, and I just started the first chapter, but I already forgot the name of the title. But the last book that I finished listening to was The Alienist because it's coming onto TNT, and I wanted to get all caught up in that. That was one.
Scary.
Okay.
It was not only was that scary, but I start looking at people funny now. It's all
scary, and it makes you
psychological.
paranoid. That's not good.
It was, and I mean, like these three, and it's like I don't want to give too much away, but it's very, very good. It was like how the whole profiling of serial killers came to be, and it was like
they said Mindhunter does that too, I believe.
yeah, yes. But I'm more into the whole 18th century. I'm into that time period.
Okay.
Because it's like you didn't know what was going on at the time, and it kind of hit closer to home because it was kids. The first book is based on kids. Like there's this person that's, but that was the last book I read. What I'm currently reading right now is a ghost is like talking to her live boyfriend, and everyone thought that he killed her, and I mean he's sent to prison and everything, and he's telling people that he didn't do it, and then everything is
like
just
bones.
like it's just building up. It's crazy.
Okay.
So the ghost is trying to help him, which is really hard because she can't actually go through any bodies, and he's still in the prison, and it's like, how is this going to work? But it sucked me in. So once I get the name, I'll send it to you if you're interested.
I may eventually start reading the Game of Thrones books, and that'll probably take me through 2019.
I was gonna say 2029.
Because I heard they're long, and there's many of them.
Long is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a slow
I
reader,
started to like do the audiobooks, but they were putting me to sleep, so I don't know. I might just stick with the show.
Audiobooks are kind of
for whatever
there are
listening
some
to
really
books makes me fall asleep.
Yeah.
But reading is fine.
I mean, I don't
There are
have time
some
to read, so
good.
it's like I can do it while I'm doing other stuff. But I was like, no, this is boring as hell.
I don't know I don't know his name. But I was listening to it before seeing it again. I mean, I've read it like years ago, but the guy who read it did such an amazing job. I jumped at the moments when you needed to jump, and it, depending on who's doing the voice of these audibles, they can really lull you.
Yeah.
And I like the ones where they actually go into different characters, where their voice go deeper or higher.
I just read it one tone, no matter what
monotone,
character.
It's
put a little effort in it, man.
Like The Sinner. When you have the time, read The Sinner, or even read the girl in the spider web. The girl with the dragon tattoo series.
Mm-hmm.
The people that does that series, they have an accent. So, and plus they go high and they go low depending on whose voice that they're talking. It's good. So
okay. Well, I'm catching up on Queen Sugar right now.
Oh, that's so much drama. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm still upset.
I'm keeping up with Riverdale and
yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. I don't tell people that I watch Riverdale, but yeah, I watch it.
I hate it so much. I have no problem saying how much I hate it and how much I'm caught up with it. Like,
yeah, I do. I hate it, but I need to know what's going on. It's like I'm more in favor of Jughead than I am with Archie. Archie just seems so.
I've always loved Jughead, like, but I also don't like Cole Sprouse playing him. But I still love Jughead.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of Reggie. I mean, Reggie was in the comics. I mean, give me some Reggie.
I think you're gonna get him
Yes.
though. I think the way they're talking about him, you're gonna get more of him.
I hope so.
Yeah, I like to see him. He's a cutie. He's damn. Ugh. All right, I gotta go. You guys have a good night.
All righty.
All right. Good
Good
night.
night. Well, is there anything else that we wanted to talk about before we head out?
Any predictions for next season besides Morgan leaving? Next half season.
I still want them to answer why Rick doesn't kill him if he does, in fact, does not kill him. So I don't know. Maybe
because his mercy will prevail over his wrath.
Okay, that's not telling me nothing.
Maggie will get her revenge.
Who?
Maggie. Well, I hope so.
Oh,
she deserves to take a couple more kill shots, honestly.
Actually, Maggie's the one that needs to kill Negan. Honest to goodness. So that's
true. I don't understand why.
That's a little crazy. Rick,
she deserves to go
I
off.
will do it. No, whoever gets to him, do it. That's fine. I'll take
That's
a picture
true,
for
but
you.
Negan. Rick keeps saying I'll be the one to do it myself. I'm like, Maggie should be the one saying that. But okay.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly.
Right.
That's my prediction, I guess.
Yeah. And if they can explain that, I think I'll be okay. Or at least I won't be okay because I sort of think he needs to go. But knowing what I do know about the comic version of him, I can see what could be happening. So if they just take the time to craft a well-executed, well-rationalized explanation.
Do you watch this show?
Stop it. That's all that I ask. Just take
you are asking a whole lot.
2 hours, 3 months.
Are you new?
Do that. I act brand new sometimes. I do. Just do that for me. Just do that for me.
I would also like to say I do not trust Jesus anymore at all. I don't trust Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Jesus gotta go.
Yeah,
I wish Maggie shot
him and his lustrous hair. Go.
I was so put off by him this season so far. Like
yeah, which is disappointing because I really liked him, but no.
Yep.
He's good as long as he's not making POW camps and feeding people turnips. He's just no.
Which came out of nowhere. I'm sure Tom was
out
like,
of nowhere. It's so disappointing.
Yeah,
it is. But yeah,
hopefully, I don't know. Maggie,
I'm just glad it's not Michonne.
Okay. Right.
Listen, just leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
Let her be smart and do her thing.
Yeah, just keep her and Rick together, and everything is okay.
Yeah, let them mourn. Let them fight against other people.
You guys aren't afraid that they aren't going to use this as a reason to split them up?
No. I don't know.
What?
Not at all.
I don't think they're that dumb.
I think this will push them closer together.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just afraid
we're gonna have to see them in pain.
Just gonna pull away, and Rick is gonna be like all involved in the war and stuff.
I don't think that will break them up, though.
I mean, that would be normal. I mean, that would be understandable reactions for them, but I don't think that it would do anything to them. But I also think that it's different now. I mean, I know Michonne already lost a son, and people are worried about her reverting back to that person, but it's so much different because she's not alone. And
she has Judith and the community.
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah.
Well, I hope so, but I don't trust these writers.
Right.
Also that. So.
I mean, there's always that. But what would be the point? It's just, I don't know.
And it's not so much, and it's also a little bit because Denai has just been so busy that it's an easy way to get her out of the way to say, oh, she's grieving, so we're not going to show her. And so.
I am nervous they'll neglect her, even though they kind of have been already, but enough where it'll really impact her storyline, or they'll just get really lazy with her storyline.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So.
Well, I am excited because I feel like she is going to be in the story more. So
yes,
well, that's you said
there is excitement.
Hopefully, right?
It's not all that doom and gloom.
Push them up, right? I mean, to build them up. Didn't you say that Carl said that?
Oh yeah, he did say that
them,
it was about how Rick and Michonne react. I guess that's why I feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't read that article, so maybe I should read that, and that'll reassure me a bit.
Yeah, I forgot.
Kay doesn't trust him.
I mean, rightfully so.
You cannot
That's
trust
fair,
him,
though.
right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He don't know what's going on. He thinks like that's
He
what
really
the point was. That's what they told him, but who knows?
You know, it always makes me wonder how hard it is to act knowing that's your last days doing the job. Like, how do you pull it together? That takes so much strength to, you know.
Not me. I'd be acting a fool.
Huh?
I'd be acting a fool.
I know, like I'm not doing.
Especially if it went that way, like
I don't want to do it.
I would be so petty.
It would just be like 80 takes.
Yep.
Oh, I messed it up again. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
But he said he's really proud of the work he did, so I'm excited to see whatever it is, and I hope he does.
He should be.
Well, in life.
I think this was a good lunch for him, so he'll be fine. It's just, you know, missing him.
I mean, quite honestly, I don't. Never mind. It would be nice.
You're not gonna miss him?
No, I am. I'm gonna be nice.
I feel like I know.
There you go. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this about them not using him the way they should have been?
No.
I'm curious. Okay. Wasn't that okay.
Yeah.
I love Chandler.
Okay.
Well, on that note, I need to get going.
All right.
Okay. Well, have a happy holidays, you guys.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Well, this will be the last time until February.
Yeah.
So,
Great talking to you guys.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's.
Happy Black Panther.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, is that going to be before Walking Dead comes back?
Yeah, because Walking Dead comes back on 26th.
Guys, if I'm not responsive.
Oh, you said what? The 26th of February?
Yeah.
Isn't it later than they used to do it though?
It is, but I think it's because of the Olympics.
The what? No, I'm kidding. I hate winter.
Okay.
I know. But I think that's why they pushed it back a little bit, just so that's over.
Goodness. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Talk to you
All
later.
right, well, bye, you guys. Happy holidays.
Bye. Happy holidays.